Welcome back to the Late Late Show. My next guest tonight is an Irish mama extraordinaire who's raised a pop star and a Hollywood gladiator, but who is now singing her own song after also surviving the fight of her life. Her new book is called Finding Joy. I am delighted to say we're all about to find out why. Would you please welcome Dearbhla Mescal. Dearbhla, welcome to the show. The last time you were here, you were sitting up there.
Yes, I was.
Nell was singing.
Yes.
Paul's been on a couple of times. So I think the first question has to be, are these talented kids just the ruse?
I think this is
to
mad.
finally get you on the show. This is what it's all about.
This is mad.
Yeah?
Yes, I think I'm actually again looking over there, and it's kind of, let me tell you, this is the bravest I've been. Crazy.
I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. You've got the family in tonight.
Yes,
we were thinking of putting a reserve for a Mescal parking spot here in RTE. We love seeing you guys here.
Thank you.
You're keeping well?
I'm really well. I'm going to drink some water.
And you are also busy. I know that Nell is just back recording in Nashville.
She was in Nashville.
Paul is off being Paul McCartney.
He's off being Paul McCartney, left-handed and everything.
Left-handed. And you have been busy writing this book.
Yes.
Tell us what the catalyst was for this.
So this, gosh, back in, I'm trying to think when Donegal was about under 14s, under 15s. So Donegall's my middle guy. And I was on a side of a pitch, as most of us are at that point in our lives. You're at one pitch or you're at something else. And this lady came up to me, and we're friends from pitch side. And we had our match day coats, so with the fur on, and the two of us locked in.
So it was July.
It was July, definitely July. Not the spring league, but we were locked in and we were like little igloos, and we were having this little chat. And she said to me, "When is it going to be my time?"
Wow.
And it was a huge question, but I immediately answered her, "Oh, not now. No. Now we mother. Now we put our shoulder to the wheel." And as we were talking, and I left the pitch, we saw the match out, and I got into the car, I remember thinking, I'm going to have to figure out something to get from here to there in this time of my life where I'm working, I'm trying to mother, I'm trying to be a great guard, I'm trying to be a great partner, I'm trying to be a great mum, and all these things.
You're trying to do it all.
Trying to do it all, and you're juggling everything. And I decided, for whatever reason, that I was going to do a 28-day challenge for myself. And I was going to do it on Facebook at the time. So I went and sought joy, actively went out trying to see it, tried to find it. Not every day was easy. Actually, there was lots of days that weren't easy.
Because in life, it doesn't really matter how much you plan.
No.
Stuff comes your way.
Yes.
And I know that you had the kids pretty much reared, and they were off being successful. You were retiring from the Guards.
Yeah, it's 8 months into about to retire. So kind of doing that moment, I had started therapy to say, okay, I'm going to be an empty nester and I'm going to be retired.
And so you were trying to cope with this, and then you had some other unexpected news.
Yes. In the July, so there was kind of this really crazy time in my life where 6 months before I started to feel I'm really not well, I was starting to feel unwell. And Paul, I have one little story in my head that I always remember. I'm on Centre Court. Well, I'm not obviously on Centre Court. I was watching on Centre Court, and literally 7 days later, I was going into the 6th floor in the Beacon Hospital, which is oncology. And I was now a person with cancer. And I had to figure out how I was going to tell my kids which I don't think any of us, and I mean, we now know that it's 1 in 2 are going to be affected by cancer. So it's not a unique story, but when you're trying to tell your kids, and Donncha had just gone to New York, Nell was in London, Paul was filming All of Us Strangers.
And
Yeah.
there's a chapter in this book
Yes.
which is about accepting. So you talk about those 28 days and the challenges, and each chapter in here has got a certain word: living, loving,
Yes.
hoping, and accepting. And that idea of all of these brilliant things are happening to your family, and then you've got this, and how
it's
to
normal.
how-
I mean, most of us are living this normal life, and it just happens. And cancer is one of those things that just happens to us. And I was incredibly, incredibly lucky. I happened to end up in a hospital that was the centre of excellence for my type of cancer. I have multiple myeloma. I'm in remission. So life is good. Thank you.
But even through all of that treatment, whenever you got the news and then you began your treatment, and I think you began your treatment when Paul found out he was nominated for an Oscar.
Oh, yeah. So I was literally 8 months. So it's kind of the treatment for mine. It's a period of time. You have to kind of break yourself down to get yourself up, and we get the family WhatsApp that this is huge news for Paul. And my doctor was just so wonderful, Patrick Hayden. I said to him, listen, something has happened. Paul has asked me to be his +1 at the Oscars, which you just don't, it just doesn't happen. Can I go, or is it possible? Will I be well enough to go? And
There you guys are. Yeah.
and he said, you will go to the ball. And he said it like that. He was wonderful. And what I think is really interesting about, I'm guessing, doctors want you to live the fullest life you can have, even if you're sick. So they want you to have all the life experiences. And he was and is, it was part of the dedication in my book.
You write a lovely dedication to him at the front, and you write a lovely dedication to the family.
Yeah, but he allowed me to live in joy through a very dark, awful time.
So from the side of that pitch,
Yes.
those years ago, and you're thinking, really, in everyday life, we have to try to pick out the joy even when tough stuff is coming our way.
Yes.
To then absolutely having the two polars of this, which is brilliant news for the family and this terrible news. Yes. What's in this book must be hard to have lived by at that stage.
It's a really interesting thing. So Finding Joy had started to, I'm no influencer, but it kind of got a bit of traction, and people were invested and
starting to do the challenge, because you put the challenge
yes,
online.
I would do that, and then they'd start to engage with me. So when part of my treatment, you have to go kind of into isolation. So I was in isolation for 3 weeks, and obviously I was really quite ill, and people were sending me their joys, like sliding into my DMs, as they say, and sending me joys, like really ordinary things. And that was my whole, I suppose, my whole journey to finding joy was it had to be ordinary. It couldn't be the big car or the big holiday or a night at the Oscars.
Yes, it couldn't be something like taking, your husband to the Oscars and then him ending up dancing with Cher.
No.
And sort of...
No.
I mean, not that Cher knew that she was dancing with Paul Senior, to be fair, but
crazy.
yeah, so it's all...
It has to be really ordinary. Like,
yes.
And so people sent me dandelions. It was around April, so it was daffodils, and it was, oh my gosh, a mum sent a picture of a child with, you know, the wellies that have the kind of Pooh Bear or something, or ducks or something, jumping in a puddle. And it was just a picture. Just
the normal stuff.
Normal stuff.
And there's a little thing in here, you know, it's that idea of, you know, when you walk into the house and the youngster's shoes are all over the place, rather than actually thinking...
And that was the initial thing for me.
Rather than thinking, what a messy house, you say...
At this time in my life, there's only 2 sets of shoes in our house. At that time, there was all these boots and, you know, the smell of, that fabulous smell of the dirt from a field in your, you know, in the car, that you go, oh my God, I'm never going to get my car cleaned. I promise you, you'll remember that smell when you're coming into your house and you don't have it anymore. You'll just say, oh, wow. And this Christmas, I took a picture, and again, it just was a pile of our shoes at the door, and it was full circle, and they're home.
And they're home.
And they're with me.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dearbhla, it is a great book, and there's lots of wisdom in it, and to see the smile in your face and the twinkle in your eye, and to see that you're living what you're writing here, it's brilliant to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
Dearbhla Mescal, thank you so much. Thank you.